Buttercream. Yes, buttercream's what we're doing. Okay, I think enough people have joined now that probably wanted to see this, so I'm going to take you through step by step, however boring it is at my end. Get rid of my hair first so it doesn't end up in my buttercream. Just going to ram it up in my ball cap and hope that that's where it stays. Now, just gonna rinse my hands and be right back. Okay, so the first part of this instructional video is really important. Take your bowl, whether that be something from a hand mixer you're using or whether it's a stand mixer. You're going to want a stand mixer for this recipe because it's really time consuming, but take a little bit of white vinegar or lemon juice, whatever you have, and even though you think your bowl is nice and clean because you washed it well, take it and wipe it out, because if there's one molecule of fat in here from the buttercream you made previously, the meringue will not whip up properly. So wipe that out, set it aside, and you're going to use your whisk, so wipe it well too. I often find that my bowl is really good. I'm never boring to watch. My bowl is probably fine, but occasionally I find little tiny pieces of buttercream stuck on the edges of this when I think I've washed it well. But this is a really important step, so take the time to do it. It's disappointing to go through all of it and have your buttercream not. Hi, Molly. Set that aside. Now, I worked this out so that we've got it in really easy recipe. It's 1 cup of egg whites. You look good at this. I've made thousands of batches of it. So this is 1 cup of egg whites, and I should bring out what I buy just to show you in case you don't have it where you live or haven't seen it. I used to make it with eggs and separate it, but then I had all the yolks left and it was just painful trying to figure out. So I buy egg whites in the carton. Hi. So do yourself a favor, buy these. I buy them when they're cheap and I freeze them and then just bring them to room temperature when I want to use them. They freeze really well, just like this. So these are egg whites. Okay? So 1 cup of room temperature egg whites. So I poured this out when I got up this morning, so it's room temperature. You want all your ingredients to be about the same temperature. Thank you, Allison. That back in the fridge. Okay, so I always use a scale. And I know I need 500 grams of sugar, granulated sugar. But because I wanted you guys not to have to go through that effort, I measured out 500 grams, and it's actually 2 1/4 cups. So take 2 1/4 cups of sugar and pour it into a small saucepan. So that's 2 1/4 cups, and that's regular sugar, not icing sugar. Be very clear, just regular granulated sugar, not icing sugar, okay? So that's 2 1/4 cups. So if you're doing this along with me, you've got 1 cup of egg whites, room temperature, and you've got 2 1/4 cups or 500 grams. And like I said, I always weigh it, but I measured it out so that we know exactly what we need for you guys. Now I need another measuring jug. Now we need 3/4 cup of water. Yes, 500 grams or 2 1/4 cups. 500 grams is more accurate, but you can live with 2 1/4 cups. So 1 cup of this, egg whites. Hi, Janice. 500 grams or 2 1/4 cups of sugar. Yes, thank you, that's right, 2 1/4 cups. And 3/4 cup of water. And you're going to tip the water into the sugar. So 3/4 cup of water in 2 1/4 cups of sugar. And then I give it a tiny little mix. Try not to splash it all around the sides, but I give it a tiny little mix. Can you use egg white powder? I've never used egg white powder. I don't know the answer to that. No, not 2/3 sugar. 2 1/4 cups of sugar. Or 500 grams. 2 1/4 or 500 grams. And then, if you're lucky enough to have, which I hope you are, because you really need one, you want to have a candy thermometer. That's okay. No, 2 1/4 cups, Ray. 2 1/4. Don't listen to Ray. She's on a tangent. There we go. 2 1/4 cups. Thanks, Janice. There you go. 500 grams or 2 1/4. Ray, you got to stop drinking so early in the morning. All right, so we've got 3/4 cup of water, 2 1/4 cups of sugar. We've given it a little stir, and we're going to go and put that on the stove right now and turn it on. I'm going to move us over there to have a look in just a second. So now you're going to take this and you're just going to put it in your nice clean bowl like that. No more wine for you, yes. Put this on. All right. I'm going to turn this around, flip the camera. So this is what it looks like over here. What brand thermometer? Anything I can get. Oh, this one's just one from the President's Choice grocery store. The advice I give for all my new pastry chefs are to eat your mistakes. So you see it's on high, a little bit. You don't want it lapping around the edge of your bowl, your mixed saucepan there. So this is going to cook for a few minutes. We have to get this up to 248 degrees. So I carefully just give that a little mix, just to make sure. So what we want to do is we want that sugar to dissolve. Thanks, Janice. Now, in my sink, my dirty sink, 248 degrees Fahrenheit. I think, hang on, let me check that. I have these, this is a plastic, you can have whatever you want, but I happen to have a plastic measuring jug here. I'll make that the way. We are going to put the, let me just flip this around for a second. 1 second while I'm confusing you. I almost, hang on. Sorry, I'm losing it. Okay, so that measuring cup that I put in the sink, I'm going to tip the sugar, the hot sugar mixture into there. You can take the saucepan and tip it right into the mixer, but I find it harder to control. And because the egg whites are so dangerously hot sugar water, sorry, not the egg whites, the hot sugar water are so dangerously hot, I don't want to take a chance on it. So I always go that extra step and I tip it, and I'll show you how I do that in a minute. It's a cup of egg whites, that. Yes, 1 cup. All right, so I haven't started my egg whites yet. Let me flip around again. I got a little bit of yesterday's, I have to get a spoon. Oh, there's that one. That's a little speck from it burning in the surface here yesterday. Get that occasionally. There we are. So this thermometer, I hope it's going to work all right because it's split like that for some reason. I don't know if that matters. Leah, the buttercream recipe I posted yesterday. Go back 1 or 2 posts and you'll find the actual ingredients, but we're actually doing it live here today. So you see where we're going to take it up on the Celsius side, we're going to take it up to about 120, and on the Fahrenheit side, it's about 148. So we're letting that boil away. Once I start to see it boiling, it's getting there, like when the bubbles start coming. Breezy, what you doing, Breezy? So it's got a nice boil on it. I'm gonna wait just a little bit. Yes, 248 Fahrenheit, 120 Celsius. Hi, Sarah. So I think that's boiling well enough. So now we're gonna go over here and we're gonna turn on the mixer. Gotta bring the bowl up first. And I'm not mixing it too quickly yet. I'm just breaking up the egg whites. So we're just gonna let it break up. Thanks, Sarah. Now you see we're really boiling over here. Hi, Jamaica girl. Thanks for following me. It's almost at 200 degrees. You have to go by the bottom red line. It's the top one, for some reason, is stuck there. You can see that's becoming a little more clear in color. It's not white anymore. Now we're going to, these are frothy, so we're going to take them right up. Full speed. That's just about 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, Stephanie, I'm going to do a cake when we get this done. Now you see it's starting to get a tiny tinge of like brown maybe, for lack of a better color, and the bubbles are getting bigger. Hi, Sierra. We are now at about 225. Sorry, 205. Okay, I'm coming over here for a minute. Okay, just sit here for a second. Swiss meringue, you cook the egg whites and put it into the sugar. And Italian meringue, you cook the sugar and put it into the egg whites. I was there in the beginning and then left, yes. KitchenAid's great. Hi, Patricia. How long does it take? It takes a while. It's going to take us about a good half hour, maybe 45 minutes. Let me just check the temperature. Let me show you. This is not done, but let me show you the stage that we're at. Okay, this is what the egg whites, now, you see they're soft. They're not peaked whipped yet, but they're very close. You don't want them to be dry. And over here, we are now at 210 degrees. Bubbles are bigger, more rapid. Thanks, Judy. Thanks for following me. I appreciate it. Yes, Italian meringue is less sweet, and that's why people tend to really like it. We're going to take it up until it gets to be 248 or thereabouts. We're going to connect those little dots there in a minute, I think. No, it's Italian meringue. Oh, thanks, Linda. Now you can see in here, they're quite stiff. They're coming away from the edge. They're pretty much done. So when they reach that stage, I just put them on really slowly to keep the air moving in them. Oh, Mags, thank you. And over here, where are we here now? Yeah, I don't really know what to believe on this thermometer. Ever since it, oh, I always wear hats because I don't want my hair in somebody's dessert. I think we're at 220, but this thermometer is giving me pause with this split in it right now. I'm not convinced it's accurate anymore. But those bubbles are getting nice and big. Look at them. See those little bits of black around or brown around the edge of the pan? That's what gets in your buttercream occasionally if you don't scrub it off. It's just a little bit of sugar from it sticking. So this is still going around over here, but you can see it's quite ready. Yes, this is what I put on every one of my cakes. This is why it takes me a while to do them. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to live with this. It says thread. I don't trust this thermometer now because it's got that split in it, but I think it's done enough. But if you use your own, take it up to 248. So now I'm just going to put this down here for a second so you can see what I'm doing. I think you can see that. So I take the thermometer out. I'm using oven mitts. And you see I've got oven mitts on. You see it's very, very hot. So I just tipped it. Let's move you over here now. I tipped it into the measuring jug. And we're pouring it in. And I run hot water in here because it's hard to clean if you don't. So I just let them sit while I'm okay. All right, so anybody got any questions up until that point? Thanks for following me. If I missed any of you, I appreciate it. Hi, Brandon. Larry, Italian meringue buttercream is really heavily laden with butter, as you'll see. So it'll last a long time. How long do you think butter would be good on your counter without going sour? Probably a week to 10 days on your counter, covered up properly. Yeah, I whip it slowly now because I don't want that hot buttercream, that hot sugar syrup flipping around my kitchen. We're not adding vanilla yet, but we will. So right now, no, the egg whites don't cook the hot sugar. Don't add anything yet. 8. You're watching me from South Africa. Wow, thanks. What time is it in South Africa? Yes, Brandon, I'm going to do a cake with this buttercream when we get it done. So now what's going to happen, let me flip this one more time, and then we're going to change streams and do something else for a little bit, because right now, just whipping away. So it's going to cook. I'm going to turn it up a little bit faster, hopefully to get the process going. But this bowl is very hot because we just put all that hot sugar syrup in a slow stream. But that now has to mix until you can put your hand on the bottom of the bowl and it just feels room temperature. Were the egg whites soft peaks? Yes, soft to firm, not dry. 20:25. Okay, so what time is it here? Almost it's 25 after 11 a.m. here. So this is probably going to take 15 minutes or so. You can speed this process up a little bit if you are anxious to do it one day. You can throw a bag of frozen peas underneath the bowl or something like that. Yes. No, this is not the same for the meringue sticks. I make proper meringue for that. Vancouver, Canada. $20.25. So that's going to cook. I mean, they're mixed for about 15-20 minutes until it's cool. And then we will be putting the butter and the vanilla in it. So right now, we're going to change streams because there's nothing we can do on that for a few minutes. I have some cupcakes I have to do for Saturday, and the little girl wants kind of wings in it. So I thought I'd try and make some butterfly wings or whatever kind of wings they are while we wait. We should go on Bake Off. What's my favorite thing to bake? I don't know, I like everything. I don't know if I have a favorite thing. In Ajax, my hometown. Fondant. Yeah, I don't like fondant much. I'm going to do them out of candy melt. So let's do that. Let's make them out of candy melt and see what we can do while we're waiting for that to cook. Or cool, shall we say. I'm going to put a board there. Piece of parchment. The bunny ears were good. They loved the cake. And I need a piping bag. A piping bag. Oh, good for you. Yes, I do. Cooking was my core competency, and I go live 4 or 5 times a week, I guess. 6 posts back for the ears. Oh yes. There's more than one set of ears I've done now, so. So I'm going to take these candy melts. Thank you for following me. Actually, these are meltables. They're a little bit different. The same, but different. And I have a little bit of pink left from before, so I'm going to heat this up and put it in here as well. Buttercream goes on the inside layers of the cake and the outside. This has to go in the microwave. I'll be right back. Great, just drop that all over. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I made a mess. Wait a second. I've got to clean up my mess. Sorry, I dropped that pink had a whole pile of crumbs, especially for us starting baking. Yeah, hi from London. Oh, thanks for following me. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the candy melts in here, and I'm going to freehand what I think look like 2 wings. We'll see what happens. And then I'm going to put some sprinkles on them. I'll show you what I... I've got these, which I haven't used yet, I don't think. Maybe. I thought I might use, because it's for a little girl that wants these. Hi from Portugal. Hi, Portugal. So if any of you are making this with me, you'll probably find that your bowl is still quite hot if you touch the bottom of your bowl. That off. Hi from Brazil. This stuff back in some counter room. See how we're doing in the microwave. almost. We'll give it a stir. These are melting, but not quite melted yet. 178,000, is that where we are? You know, it went up like 30,000 since last week, and then the last 2 days, numbers have been dropping off again. I lost about 2,000 followers last night. I think it's just the algorithm correcting itself all the time. It boosts you and then it knocks you down, and then it boosts you and then it knocks you down. I know, it really went fast there for a while, and then it stopped. And now I'm in the losing followers moment. But that's okay. We don't care. We don't care. We just hope people follow us because they want to follow us. You're watching from Japan? Woo. I want to go to Japan. Are you in cherry blossom time right now? There's all those little crummy bits that fell in my... Thanks for following me, guys. You heard a lot of people can't get past 200 for a long time. Yeah. I've heard a lot of interesting things. Now, wait till I put this in the microwave again. I'll be right back and tell you what I heard. Yes, so I heard a couple of things that really made sense, and I don't know whether any of you guys on here are trying to build your followers, but this made really good sense to me. That TikTok pushes through posts that people like. Obviously, your content's got to be good in the first place. Hi, Thailand. But then they suppress it after a while because they want you to try and make another one. Because the more you make, cherry blossoms are in full bloom here too in Vancouver. The more content you make, the happier TikTok is. So they really promote you for a while and then they don't. And I think I'm in the not promoting time because I had really good luck for the last 2 weeks. Dream to see them there? Yeah, I'd like to see them in Japan. Yeah, it kind of makes sense because if you don't make any and keep trying to, so you can get that high of being excited that you've gotten something going viral, if people stop making content, they get to, so they promote you and then they don't, and they promote you and then they don't. So I'm thinking that's why whoever it was that just said that it's hard to get past 200,000, it's probably the same kind of thing because you're going to keep on making posts to try and get that 200,000. But I'm kind of excited because this afternoon I've been invited by TikTok Canada, as I'm sure a lot of creators have. Where's my scissors? To join them in a live, and it's on. Sorry, it's not a live. It's a Zoom. Is what I'm trying to say. My brain doesn't work when I'm doing too many things at once. It's a TikTok Canada Cooks. Ooh, that's pretty. That's pretty. The TikTok Canada Cooks Zoom. So that's at 2 o'clock. So I have to be done by 2 o'clock, but I'm sure we will be. So this is a little bit too warm to pipe. It'll just run. I don't know if I like Japan. I've never been there, but I can't imagine why I wouldn't, because it's certainly on my hit list to come see. If we ever get to travel. If we ever get to. Everybody go feel the bottom of your bowl. See how you're doing. Yeah, it's still kind of warm. And what you have to think about when you feel the bottom of that bowl is, do you think if you put your butter in it, it would melt? Because if you think the butter would melt, you're probably right. You from Ireland? It's 11:30. I have been to Mexico. Oh, New Mexico. No. I wanted to move to New Mexico at one point, but we didn't ever do it. I haven't been to Ireland. Yes, still whipping. Hello. The noise is my mixer going on. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Let me have a look. I'm going to turn it up a little bit, get it going a little bit. Here. So I'm going to put this. Finland, no. Thanks for following me. You know, guys, let me know, do you, with the blue rice paper? Sorry. I want to go to Australia, Japanese. Thanks for following me, Greta. No discussing bathing suits. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'll ever get in a bathing suit again. Although I have to because I'm going back to Toronto in July and my daughter's got a gorgeous pool. So, Israel, just curious, what are we making? A cake. How long? The spring roll wrappers, I'm not sure what that's referring to. Favorite place I've ever visited? Oh, I don't know. I love everywhere I go. I loved Venezuela. I was lucky enough to go there. I love Mexico. Ray, where are you going? We're making buttercream right now. Let me take you over there and show you what the buttercream is doing. So you can see if yours looks like mine. Let's have a look at this. So that's what it looks like right now. The blue ones I dyed on my page. I don't know what you're asking me, Olivia. I'm sorry, I've missed the thread. I don't know the contents. So, you used to live in Toronto? Oh, we all did. Your uncle lives? Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's still a little warm, almost ready. Almost ready. I'm visiting Toronto. Don't know what Bear Tower and Crescent is. I don't know where Bear Tower is. Where's Bear Tower? Tell me. I don't know what we're talking about. Near. Near the, what, the CN Tower? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, still too warm. Why are your comments not moving? 3:40 in the morning. Oh, you must be close to my Aussie girl. Hey. All right. Now, okay. So when I touch this bowl now, it's not hot, okay? It's not hot anymore. So I'm going to drop this down. Now, sometimes, you see that still? Sometimes these peaks will be stiffer than others. There's just no accounting for it. It's a temperature thing. Sometimes they're stiff and thick, and sometimes they're a bit runny, but don't worry about it, whatever shape they're at. Okay, now, You're going to switch to the paddle attachment. Put this on. All right. Okay, I can't see what your comments are for a second the way I've got you. So don't ask the host anything for a second. But now I've got 1 pound of salted butter, and I've got 1 pound of unsalted butter. And we're going to add this into our buttercream. So this is room temperature buttercream. So I just take a piece and just keep mixing, not too big at a time, and I just keep throwing it in. Make sure you don't get your knife anywhere near your paddle. So you're doing 2 whole pounds of butter. That's the first pound. That's the first pound. Now we're going to do the second pound. Just keep on slapping it in there. With the same butter. Now you can have nice, neat little pieces of butter cut ready to go in. This is room temperature, as you can see. But I never see the need for that. Okay, that's the second pound. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like. Yes, it said unsalted. Aussie girl. Okay, I want to show you guys something here. This is when a lot of people panic, because now it kind of looks like cottage cheese. Can you tell the difference between salted and unsalted? I can if I taste it for sure. See, now this is, it's more white and much more together. Now I heard somebody, I don't know which one of you, that you could only get imitation clear. Well, I'm out of my beautiful vanilla that I get in Mexico, except for a dark one. So I like to use a clear vanilla. It's really important that it's clear if you're doing a white cake, because any other color, like any color that you add to this, will darken your buttercream. So now is when I add 2 tablespoons of vanilla. Now, when you add your vanilla, it tends to make, yeah, the bowl's heavy. You're right. When the, oh, was it, Linda? Okay. I much prefer the Mexican vanilla or the Madagascar vanilla, but this one was all I could get right now. I don't know what butter vanilla is, sorry. But when you first add it, it tends to make it a little bit slippery in the bowl, so you might have to turn your speed down for a minute. Now the reason for switching to the paddle attachment, which I don't think I covered before, is you want to eliminate as many air bubbles in your buttercream as possible. So you don't want the whip, because that creates air. 2 pounds of butter. 2 tablespoons of vanilla. Now, depending on your house and the temperature in your house, this can take longer or shorter time. And I've had tons of people tell me they just couldn't get it together. So if it's soupy, take that bowl and put it in the fridge for 5 or 10 minutes. Yes, it's a lot of butter. Put it in the fridge for 5 or 10 minutes and then carry on whipping it. It's all temperature. It will come together. I promise you it'll come together, but sometimes it takes more effort than others. Vicki, thank you for following me. I appreciate that. Hi, Dusty? That Dusty? Sarah, thank you. No, we have all our moderators today. Thanks very much. I'm just finishing up this buttercream and then we're going to do a cake. Now, I have a little bit of buttercream left over from the other day. So I'm going to drop that in that new buttercream now, just to give this a new lease on life. It'll just froth it up a little bit. So sit tight for a second while I drop it in. Okay, so that's all going to mix. Yeah, I will put this up on YouTube afterwards. Yes, I got my cute little hat in Panama. I have to go back and get another one. That's another place I love. Thank you. Who's that? Who is that? Latarsha? Is that what it is? Latarsha? Yes, I'm going to do a cake in about 5 minutes. Just waiting for that buttercream to have that final little whip together. And then we're going to do a little cake. A very plain little cake, but it'll be pretty. But I think what I'll do is I don't need this anymore. I gotta get around to gluing this. It's driving me insane. Keeps falling off. We'll put this away while we're doing that. How much buttercream? I don't know, maybe 10 cups. Quite a lot. And really only enough to do a cake with a little bit of leftover. Let's have a look at it. It's almost worth all that noise for the relief you get. For the relief you get when it's over. So now we have all this buttercream. This is when you get to taste it. 35 minutes, is that what it took? That's pretty quick, actually. I usually figure on 45 minutes, so we did well today. Who wants to lick the beater? Woo! Look at that. Flowers, thank you. Who wants to lick the beater? So you see, it's not hard to make the buttercream. It's certainly not, oh, there goes my hair. It's certainly not fast. But I honestly think everybody comes back for my cakes because I hear so many people say that buttercream is so sweet, and especially with all the flowers that I do on it. But it's not overly sweet with this. Use